Some pretty big news coming out of NASA. An entire system of planets has just been discovered. Futurism reports that, quote, scientists working with telescopes at the European and Southern Observatory and NASA announced a remarkable new discovery, an entire system of Earth-sized planets. If that's not enough, the team asserts that the density measurements of the planets indicates that the six innermost are Earth-like rocky worlds. And that's just the beginning. 3 of the planets lie in the star's habitable zone, which is the region surrounding a star in which liquid water could theoretically exist. This means that all 3 of these alien worlds may have entire oceans of water, dramatically increasing the possibility of life. The other planets, however, are less likely to host oceans of water, but the team states that liquid water is still a possibility on each of these worlds. NASA has made other discoveries in the past. I believe a few years ago they found a moon orbiting another planet, which NASA also believed could have had water and other Earth-like features, and again believe that maybe this planet could be something that humans need to reach out to in the future because, we're destroying Earth and all that. But, discovering 7 other planets where at least 3 could have water and maybe even life, that's a massive discovery and, it should not be downplayed. However, I have more for you from the agency. Lead author Michael Gillon notes that this solar system has the largest number of Earth-sized planets yet found and the largest number of worlds that could support liquid water. Quote, this is an amazing planetary system, not only because we have found so many planets, but because they are all surprisingly similar in size to the Earth. Co-author Amari Triad notes that the star in this system is an ultra-cool dwarf, end quote. And he clarifies what he means in relation to the planets. Quote, the energy output from the dwarf stars like TRAPPIST-1 is much weaker than our sun. Planets would need to be in far closer orbits than we see in the solar system if there is to be surface water. Fortunately, it seems that this kind of compact configuration is just what we see around TRAPPIST-1. So what he's saying is that since the sun is much more powerful than the ultra-cool dwarf star of TRAPPIST-1, planets need to be much closer to it in order for there to be planets that can, have water and maybe even sustain life. So this is a pretty interesting discovery. I'm just summarizing this article because I think it's fascinating and I want to share it with all of you as well. However, what this really does remind me of is previous talks of science fiction ideas regarding terraforming our current solar system, which is basically making all the planets like Mars, Venus, etc. Earth-like, giving them oceans and land and maybe seeing them form continents. Now, that's obviously way out of our technical capabilities at this present time. However, if we have already found other planets that may already have oceans and land and maybe even air, maybe we won't even have to aspire to that terraforming of the current planets going forward. But I think this is pretty fascinating. But I want to get to distance and just given how far away it is. And they say that, quote, the system is just 40 light years away. On a cosmic scale, that's right next door. Of course, practically speaking, it would still take us hundreds of millions of years to get there with today's technology. But again, it is notable in that the find speaks volume about the potential for life as we know it beyond Earth. So there you have it, TRAPPIST-1, NASA's latest discovery. This is obviously a pretty big story because it's big news for the human race. I think it's going to be really fascinating to see what happens in the future and what we do with TRAPPIST-1. Will we eventually be able to produce the type of technology that can get us there? Or will we just kill ourselves with a nuke? I certainly hope not, but who knows? Now, I'm currently in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You might notice a different background if you've been watching my previous videos. So I'm here for some company training. I'll be back in Canada soon with, I guess, my original background. And I'll be looking forward to producing other videos, of course. But that's it for today. Please leave some insightful comments and not just educate me, but maybe educate some of the people who are also watching this video. But thank you very much. I'll catch you in the next one. Later.